Howdy y'all, and welcome back. So we've got 2 new arrows. And by walking into them, we open up possible directions that we can go. So when you get up to a spot that you have a key item that you can use, if you have the key item, you can just hit the interact button and it'll automatically use it for you instead of you having to scroll through and select it. And that gets us the fire key. Those close up. And on the other side, an area that I'm a little iffy on going into because it's ice physics with Wendigos. Ice physics with Wendigos, and yeah. This is why I say Wendigos are the worst enemies to have to deal with for a good long while. Like with most games, if you can get them into like a 1 or 2 fashion, only having to deal with a couple of them at a time, they're not too terrible, but this is the hardest difficulty we're talking about, so of course they're going to have every last one of them possible to be spawned in. So let's make another save. Quickly get over into this corner. Okay. So we got another key up there, and a switch back here. Somehow managed to survive that. Whew. Okay. So I like to boop that button and instantly sprint to the other side, and then instantly sprint back as quickly as you can, because on the other side, more Wendigos will spawn in. And honestly, I don't want to have to fucking deal with them. And with that, that gives us both the fire and the steel key. So let's exit. Exit. And in picking up both of those keys and flipping all the switches that we have, the other 2 doors in the 7 portals have opened. We also see a ladder or a staircase has risen here, which leads to a consumable item, dragon skin bracers. Pulling that switch seems to have done nothing for us just yet. But trust me, you need to pull that. There's items in there. I wonder how you're supposed to get in. 'Tis a mystery. Kill that. Kill the Chaos Serpent. If you can manage to catch the Chaos Serpent before they start blasting, you can kind of stun lock them to death. Which is nice. Here's some enemies off to the left. And more flechettes for me. And like with last time, we're gonna head into the Guardian of Steel first, just because it is, in my opinion, the more annoying of the two to deal with. As I accidentally back out the, oh, fuck you. So, like in Doom, there is enemy fighting, or enemy kin, whatever you want to call it, infighting, where enemies will indeed fight amongst each other if you can get them to tag one another with damage. As a note with these centaurs and their upgraded forms later, don't attempt to use the ice shards on them, especially in close range while their shield is up. They will reflect the damage and you can one-shot yourself with the ice shards. There we go. Alright, that's one side down. And let's go and pull that. It's going to be the same, it's going to be just as much as the same as it was last time we were here. Pull one lever, it opens a thing on the opposite side downstairs. Dead. So leaves us annoying ass Afrit. You can hear more Wendigos. I mean, if you got the angle, you may as well take the pot shots. These Slotars, by the Centaurs, by the way, have the same weakness as the Ettins. If they attempt to take a swipe at you and you back up at the very last second, it'll make the sound as though they hit you, but you won't actually take damage. There we go. Hey! Fuck you trying to do sneaking up on me like that? Ass. Ah, shit. And I'm crouched. I don't don't even remember what button I've got that set. Oh. Apparently it's X. Okay. Oh, that's the wrong button. There we go. Always take more health. No one else? Okay. You have to find another switch. Oh, I'll find another switch, alright. Find another switch right up your ass. Oh yeah, this one isn't the opposites one. Oops. Now, mercifully in this game, the only enemies that will spawn in if you take too long will be Ettins. And a few Ettins really ain't that terrible to deal with. We go. Stairs have risen in the 7 portals. And that's all 4 of those switches flipped. We're still not quite done here yet. But we will be soon-ish. Let's go on and top up. So we can see one set of stairs have risen now. Heading up. We've got a switch and a switch. Opening a door in the Guardian of Ice. I could go to the Guardian of Ice now, however, there is really nothing for me to really do there just yet. It's kind of pointless to open just one door in the Guardian of Ice. Alright. Let's head on into the Guardian of Fire. Which spawns us right here instead. Pop in here for a hot second just to deal with them so they stay the fuck out the way. And nestled back in this corner and the other side are where we use the key of fire. Pull that, which gives us a way to go down. However, might as well clear the other side. And much the same. Down we go. And back up we go, because enemies will do enemy things. In terms of which characters are the easiest and which characters are the hardest, I would personally say, by the way, grab those before the before it fully lowers, as those will disappear. Anyways, in terms of which character is the easiest to play and which one's the hardest, from which one's the easiest to hardest, I should say. I would say Mage being the hardest because he has the least amount of damage he can take. More accurately, the damage threshold is going to always be low. So you're just going to permanently take a ton of damage. Chaos Device. We've gotten a couple of those now. Actually, we've gotten a Chaos Device, and I forget what that other one was. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. Mage, of course, being the hardest because of how much damage it will permanently be taking. And the Fighter being the second easiest. The second hardest, or basically the middle of the range, because the Fighter basically doesn't get any ranged attacks until the second hub. Which does make those enemies that hit a bit harder, like the Chaos Serpents, more annoying to deal with as the Fighter. And the Cleric is by far the easiest. Is the best character, hands down. You're not arguing this with me, like, it is. The Cleric's only bad weapon is their starter weapon, and even the starter weapon really isn't that bad. His second weapon, the Staff of the Serpent, has two modes for it, both a long range and a short, close range attack. The long range fires two bolts that do okay damage. I think it deals just about as much damage as the Crystal Staff here, except it fires much faster and does not pierce. Its close range, on the other hand, deals a ton of damage really fast, and on top of that, it restores health. It's one of the best weapons in the game. The Cleric's second weapon is hit or miss, but has the potential to one-shot almost every enemy in the game. And the third weapon, it's down even with its absolute ridiculous its absolute ridiculous amount of MP that it takes to use, it is the most useful weapon in the game. It will, with a single hit, one-shot basically multiple enemies in the game. You can get a good, like, 7 to 10 kills with a single shot. It's a room clearer. Comparatively speaking, the second weapon for the fighter, Timon's Axe, does really good damage, but is exclusively close range, and when you're out of mana, you can still attack with it. And his second weapon does finally gain a long-range attack. And his third weapon is honestly pretty mid, but the first three are really good. And we will see the wizard's second and third and fourth weapons a little bit later. As for right now, we're going to call this in here. Cheers, y'all.